Pay close attention to this image. This is not a frigate, not a war destroyer, not a military cruiser. This is an ordinary commercial cargo ship, but the surprise is that it carries dozens of cruise missiles ready to launch. Yes, a Chinese commercial ship armed with more weapons than an American destroyer, quietly docked at the port of Shanghai, China. It's as if China is telling the world that the next war won't start from aircraft carriers, but from commercial cargo ships. So the serious question now is, why is China turning its commercial ships into missile launch platforms? Are we witnessing the most dangerous change in the history of naval warfare? And what if thousands of commercial ships turned into floating weapons surrounding America from all seas? Today, it's a fact. Everything has changed, and this is also a new shift that we will talk about today. Stay with us. Dear viewers, peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings, and welcome to this renewed meeting with us today, God willing. From the series of opinion episodes that we dedicate to this sensational news that has been circulated by many international media outlets, which actually confirms that the world is now preparing for a major upcoming war. It is clear that this new year, 2026, will be a year of revealing the truth. During this week, a very strange commercial ship was spotted. A commercial ship unlike any other usual commercial ships. This ship docked at the port of Shanghai, China, but it is unusual. What is strange about this commercial ship is that it is armed with a very large number of destructive weapons. It's very strange. It raised many questions and made everyone in the world sound the alarm. What awaits trade and supply lines in the future? How can a commercial cargo ship also be armed with offensive weapons at the same time? What exactly is China planning? By reviewing these widely circulated images, it becomes clear that the ship is designed for transporting containers. It's a relatively small ship. I mean, it's small in size, but it's equipped with about 60 platforms for launching cruise missiles, equipped with anti-aircraft artillery systems, and also equipped with an automatic cannon and various radars, air and naval radars. This means it's equipped with weapons and military capabilities that surpass the equipment of American and Russian destroyers, and so on. For example, if the most powerful American destroyers carry 96 missile launch platforms, this commercial ship might actually carry even more than that when we add up all these platforms, cannons, and so on. It's clear from these images that there are containers visible on the ship's deck, but when we analyze these containers, we find that they have the name of a Chinese company called Pengli New Energy written on them. This company specializes in manufacturing energy systems and technology related to energy. This raises questions about the reason for the presence of this ship and the mystery behind these containers. Are these containers providing the necessary power for the missile and radar systems on board the ship, or are they actually a shipment of energy systems on their way to be exported to a certain country? If this question were answered, we might get much closer to solving this mystery that has puzzled all the intelligence agencies in the world today. What is China preparing for? What is certain today is that China has started equipping commercial transport ships with military and sophisticated weapons. And here, everyone should pay attention to a very important point. China has more than 10,000 commercial ships. I mean, just imagine this huge number, this unbelievable number, 10,000 commercial cargo ships owned by China alone. Owned by China. America, the world's superpower, has only about 4,000 ships. Russia has only about 1,800 ships. But China has more than 10,000 ships. So this gives it a huge advantage. Wherever you go in this vast world, you'll find China present at sea. What if all these ships were armed with such missiles and these defense systems? Maybe that's far-fetched and might not happen, but at least, what if China equipped the number it needs today? Maybe 200, maybe 300, maybe 100, maybe 1,000 of these commercial ships. We're talking about a huge number, about tens of thousands. This would let China deploy thousands of missiles worldwide, possibly even surrounding America. Weapons, including long-range missiles, most of them will be close to American territory. The important thing is that the appearance of these images, which of course were deliberately released by China, China is the one that allowed these images to spread, one way or another. It revealed the new plan for a specific purpose. Maybe it's as if they're sending a message to America that they're coming strongly, that they have the capabilities. America should pay attention to this naval blockade it is imposing on Venezuela. Maybe it's also a message to China that they're coming to break this blockade. This escalating threat around Greenland Island in the Arctic region is a message that China is coming strongly to protect its commercial interests. Even if the world is tense and experiencing supply cuts and other issues, China says it is ready to overcome this, as China may be preparing today for a major event coming soon. Dear viewers, for the first time in history, China has started exporting its commercial products to Europe via the Northern Sea route, meaning through the Arctic Ocean. Chinese products used to take 40 days to reach Britain or the Netherlands or Belgium or Norway and so on. That means from the northern European countries today it only takes 20 days by exporting via the northern route. There is a Chinese port near South Korea, Ningbo Port. China now exports its products from this port by sea through the Bering Strait, which is the strait between Alaska and western Russia. After that, it enters the Arctic Ocean region, then passes to Britain and the rest of the northern European countries. And this of course happens by passing through the area in front of Tigrilnat Island. China has only started using this route recently, in the past few weeks, and this of course came in cooperation with Russia. So it's strange today to hear about this suspicious Chinese move of converting cargo ships into ships armed with cruise missiles. It means that something dangerous is coming that China is preparing for today. This thing might happen through what will take place in the Greenland area, or maybe somewhere else, perhaps in other regions. The important thing is that this raises a question. Does China want to ensure the security of its own cargo ships? When does the war begin? Is it preparing for that today, or does it have a severe shortage in the number of military naval vessels? So it's resorting to this simple solution to cover that gap. Today before tomorrow? Today the Chinese Navy has the strongest naval arsenal in the world. If America has 440 naval vessels, China today has more than 750 naval vessels. America knows this threat, feels this threat, and knows that the power of the Chinese Navy has started to dominate the world, or will dominate the world in the coming phase. What did it do? Recently, it launched a new plan called the Golden Fleet, a plan to build 25 new military ships named after the American President Trump. It is said that these ships will be highly advanced, equipped with electromagnetic guns, laser weapons, hypersonic missiles, artificial intelligence systems, and so on. But in reality, we find that this plan, or the first of these ships, won't be ready until after the year 2030, and it won't be fully ready until after the year 2035. Even France recently announced the start of production of the new aircraft carrier after the current carrier, which is now Charles de Gaulle, has become nothing more than military scrap. But it also won't be ready until after the year 2038. That's 15 years from today, and the major war is getting closer. Its timing will probably be before 2030 according to all the indicators. So here it becomes clear that this plan is not for military purposes, it's not meant to confront China. That's it. As we say in our dialect, China has already pulled ahead. No one in the world can keep up with China today, not at all. Today, it is revealing great capabilities in converting commercial ships into military ships. In just a few days, it can turn all its commercial ships into military vessels. For them it's simple. It won't take years, and they have huge quantities of missiles and missile launch platforms ready to be installed on such ships. So the important thing is that China has now opened the door. Today it has opened the door to a new kind of military development. If Iran took this step years ago when it converted commercial transport ships into drone carriers, today China might be taking the same step but on a larger scale, turning them into destroyers carrying dozens of ready missile launch platforms. This might also mean that it opens the door for Russia to take the same step today. Newspapers, analysts and experts are also speaking out. Some experts in Russia are talking about the necessity for Russia to take the same Chinese step and to equip its commercial naval fleet with missiles and weapons. They say that Russia has only about 400 naval vessels that strongly need this idea. It has only one aircraft carrier that needs this simple and inexpensive idea, and it has only 11 destroyers that need this idea. For what's coming, meaning for upcoming military developments. Today they ask, what if the world enters a major war? There will be no solution for Russia except to implement this Chinese idea. This Chinese idea, in fact, will create a global revolution in the field of naval military power. A group of countries might adopt this approach, especially if this major war expands and starts threatening commercial supply lines and so on. Many industrial countries produce weapons and own numerous commercial cargo ships. Japan, for example, has more than 5,000 ships. Turkey and India have more than 1,800 ships. All these countries manufacture weapons, missiles, radars and so on, meaning they can convert these cargo ships into military ships in very simple ways. So today we are facing a military shift, a very significant military shift, and also a geostrategic shift with no limits. Today we can predict what the world will look like in the coming phase. Even the military capabilities that were monopolized for decades by the victorious countries in World War I are now available to everyone. With the emergence, low-cost weapons that have a huge impact in wars, like drones, for example. Things have become accessible to all countries in the world, so now things are clear. It's obvious that things are heading toward a major escalation, which the world will witness in the coming days. China has started to prepare. China has now sent an oil tanker to Venezuela, meaning to break the naval blockade imposed on Venezuela by America. China is openly saying that what America is doing today is illegal. It hasn't been authorized by the United Nations, the Security Council, or anything else. Therefore, there is no need to comply, and if they are going to break this blockade, we see them as well. At the same time, they are now conducting live-fire naval exercises off the coast of Taiwan. They have carried out live-fire drills, conducted amphibious landings, and simulated long-range strikes. What's strange is that these maneuvers surrounded Taiwan from every side, east, west, north, and south, as if they were preparing to invade Taiwan. They even called these maneuvers the just mission, the just mission. At the same time, China also made statements saying that Taiwan is an inseparable part of China. So there is also a political and military alignment as well. Just 2 days ago, China conducted war scenario simulations in areas surrounding 4 countries. Which countries are these? Taiwan first, then Japan, then the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. That means Venezuela. This might give a clear impression that China is preparing for something serious coming in this region. This serious thing that's coming will be connected to Venezuela and what's happening there in terms of conflict with America, and it will also be connected to the island of Taiwan. It might be sending a message that the two issues are connected. If a confrontation with America starts, it will be in Taiwan and also in Venezuela. Then, at the same time, we see China somehow revealing this commercial cargo ship and how they turned it into a military destroyer with incredible destructive capabilities. So now, maybe we have to wait and see what the first days and weeks of the new year 2026 will be like. What exactly is China preparing for? Is the decisive confrontation really about to begin, or what? Let us know in the comments, and remember to subscribe and like the video. Peace be upon you. See you next time.